pretty heavily here at the finish, so we'll expect conditions to change as they go through the 2K.
I'd say it's pretty more than drizzle actually, having just escaped to use the facilities here for a little second. I mean, it won't bother these guys because they're used to training in all weathers. As we look at the British strokeman Chris Bartley from Leander Club, in that crew that got the bronze medal in the World Championships last year, coached by Rob Morgan again.
And we're underway now with the final for the lightweight men's fours. Good clean start across the water there.
Yeah, we're looking at the blades of the German boat and their strokeman Julius Peschel from the Deutsche Ruder Club Hanover. But no surprise, Morten Jorgensen, the Dane, really led his crew out quick. I mean, if you're going to race the Danes, you just know what their tactic is. They will blast, blast, blast out, and you've got to go with them.
So we've got in this race here the Danes, the world champions from last year and European champions in lane 4. We've then got the stroke Chris Bartley, the GBA, who was bronze medalist in the 4, the world champions last year. And similarly in the German 4, Julius Peschel was silver medalist at the World Championships in the lightweight men's 4. So a lot of grudge matches out on the water today as we ride with the German 4, Chris Bartlett in the near side of the picture.
British 4, I think you meant there. Called the right stroke man, you did, yeah. Coming up to 500 metres. Looks like the Danish crew will have a lead, but it's all very close in this event. Average weight of 70 kilos. You can weigh 72.5, but it means someone else has got to weigh a lot less in the crew, so they all tend to weigh in around 70. There's the French crew.
Starting to get their nose out in front though. It looks as though it's the Denmark boat, flanked either side by the GB and French, who we're riding with now. As we come up to the 500, Denmark out in front only by canvas over France, who had turned 9/10 up on GB.
It's a good close race, isn't it? Denmark, of course, won their heat to qualify straight through, and Britain won the other heat. The Danes were 4 seconds quicker, but at the moment it's the Danes that are dominating the British, and the French, well, their coach will be really pleased with that. Jérôme Deschamps, who's in charge of the lightweights, has really targeted this event for a medal, and at the moment they are in medal position.
One hell of a start from that French boat, it really is. As we look now to the Denmark boat out in front, Morten Jorgensen on the right of the picture in the stroke seat.
I did predict actually that the Danes might win this event, which wasn't a tough prediction to make, but I did see Morten Jorgensen favourited it last night about 10 PM, so he certainly thinks they're going to win too.
Certainly confident, but for a very good reason. 3/4 of a length up, although starting to make a move here. The GB lightweight men's 4, Chris Bartlett just lifting the rating ever so slightly there with the bowman looking across.
Worth saying that the two brothers in that, the Chambers brothers from Coleraine in Northern Ireland, were in the double scull last year at the World Championships. Well, of course they got that bronze medal and were absolutely dead on their feet.
So they started to make a move, and it looks as though they've taken the second place, but only by a nose ahead of the French 4, which I think we'll see something happen from them in the third 500. We're coming up to the 1,000 now, and crossing it first, 3/4 of a length ahead, Denmark 3:02.18, so not the fastest time out of the heats and semis.
It's more spread out the field, isn't it, than we used to see. I remember it being very close at the World Championships. Of course, you had the New Zealand crew in the World Championships, that fantastic contest between New Zealand and Denmark all through last season, really, won by Denmark in the World Championships. But here in the Europeans, well, it's tightening up, isn't it? The French haven't let go of the British, and I think a renewed effort through the cave from the French has probably put their bows just in front.
Yeah, we've got a race of two halves here, really, haven't we? We've got the leading pack in the medal positions, and then a huge Clearwater gap back to a little tussle and contest for the 4th place. As we look at that wide angle shot, a perfect chevron formation coming out of the water with, at the very point of it, this Danish 4 leading a pretty level pegged GB in France.
I think they've edged out a little bit, the Danes, in the 3rd quarter. I mean, you always think they're going to be fast in every single quarter, and then they do a sprint finish, which is like an amazing tradition that the Danish 4 have really brought to lightweight rowing. But certainly the French there, led by Guillaume Renaud from Nantes, absolutely trucking it down in the third quarter, just coming up to 500 metres to go. And head-to-head with Britain, you'd think that contest, Pete, would take them back on the Danes.
You'd think so. I just wonder, I'm not sure that France will have an extra gear to go here. I think GB will have an extra gear, but I'm more certain that the Danish will have an extra gear to go here. So my prediction as we pass the 1500 is that we'll start to see Denmark move ahead. GB's tried to stay on terms with them, but I wonder if the French will be able to.
Good row from the Spanish in fourth place. I think that'll be a step up from them if that crew takes fourth place in the Europeans. Great to see them in the final. There we see the stroke man Patricio Rojas and Zar, who was rowing in bow at last year's Europeans, moved him up to the stroke seat and looks to have made a difference. But look at the race developing out in front. Danes still ahead.
It's really split up, this, isn't it? I think the race really is going to be between GB and France for that silver medal. But looking at the field and the angle of the camera there, I think that we're going to see GB start to move ahead and try to reel in that Danish lead. They've got overlap now, and I think that it's going to be a challenge for the Danes to hold off a final charge from GB. We're coming up to the last 200 metres.
Decision of three of the Danish crew to wear sunglasses. Open to question with the pouring rain maybe as well.
Absolutely. Perhaps there's a tactic to keep the rain out of their eyes, because it's really starting to chuck it down out there. It might not be clear on the picture, but you can see the back of Morten Jørgensen absolutely sopping wet. But as they come up towards the line here, 100 metres to go, and I think that the medal positions aren't going to be changing. Morten Jørgensen leading his Danish crew all the way to the line.
Richard Chambers having a look round the corner to see how far are we. I think probably a bit too far for you to look, Richard, at the moment.
Coming out to the line now, though, I don't think the medal positions are going to change. It's pretty strung out, this field, with the Denmark crew taking gold, retaining their European Championship title, Great Britain taking the silver medal, and France the bronze. So be interesting to just double check the times there. 6:08 to the line by Denmark, so it's not a new European Championship record time, but certainly a fast race rode there across the field, and GB nearly getting into contention for a gold medal.
Little congratulatory thumbs up to the French crew from Morten Jørgensen. Such a distinctive style of rowing. The British there, Pete Chambers in the two-seat, head down. And there's the three-man laid back, Frank Sofruisi from Lyon. Well, he's got up now, but great effort from them. They really did need to medal, I think, the French team. Not as many finalists as they'd like here, so it's important that they've got the French lightweight men's double to win, and they've now got a bronze from the lightweight men's four.
Great slow-mo, the last 100 metres here in the Danish boat, soaking wet, but you can see the determination and urgency.
Yeah, look how loose the shoulders are of the Danish three-man Jacob Barso. Big man, he's just so loose and long, and he gets locked effectively.
So you can see by the times a pretty strung out field across the running order there, but Denmark take the gold medal at the European Rowing Championships 2014, Britain the silver, and France the bronze.
Being an outdoor